Hello, everyone. Welcome to season 2 of the Sam podcast. We'll be talking about careers this season with me, Mr. Sam. Today, we are exploring a career that combines adrenaline, precision, and innovation: test pilots. To help us dive deep, I'm joined by Miss Victoria Lane, a retired test pilot instructor and aviation analyst. Victoria, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sam. I'm thrilled to be here. This topic is one that I'm really passionate about, maybe a little more intense than most aviation careers.
And before we start, just to let our audience know, we're both smiling right now because this conversation is going to get exciting, maybe even a little heated.
Oh, yes, I'm ready for it. Let's get into the thrill of the skies.
Victoria, when people hear pilot, most think of airline pilots or military aviators. But what exactly does a test pilot do?
A test pilot's job is unique. We fly experimental or newly developed aircraft to assess performance, safety, handling, and reliability. Essentially, we are the eyes, hands, and instincts that make sure an aircraft is safe and capable before it goes into production or operational use.
So it's not about carrying passengers or even performing missions in most cases.
No, test pilots focus on evaluation, pushing the limits of aircraft, and providing detailed feedback to engineers. Think of it as being the bridge between design and real-world operation.
So in a way, they're part pilot, part scientist, and part engineer.
Exactly. And part risk taker.
And before we start, just to let our audience know, we're both smiling right now because this conversation is going to get exciting, maybe even a little heated.
Oh, yes, I'm ready for it. Let's get into the thrill of the skies.
Victoria, when people hear pilot, most think of airline pilots or military aviators. But what exactly does a test pilot do?
A test pilot's job is unique. We fly experimental or newly developed aircraft to assess performance, safety, handling, and reliability. Essentially, we are the eyes, hands, and instincts that make sure an aircraft is safe and capable before it goes into production or operational use.
So it's not about carrying passengers or even performing missions in most cases.
No. Test pilots focus on evaluation, pushing the limits of aircraft, and providing detailed feedback to engineers. Think of it as being the bridge between design and real-world operation.
So in a way, they're part pilot, part scientist, and part engineer.
Exactly. And part risk taker.
Are there different types of test pilots?
Yes, several. We usually have A. Development test pilots, test new aircraft or systems for performance. B. Production test pilots, fly aircraft after assembly to ensure everything functions correctly. C. Experimental test pilots, work with prototypes, often on the edge of known flight capabilities.
Wow, experimental sounds dangerous.
It can be. These are aircraft that might have never flown before, or where we deliberately push systems beyond normal limits.
Now, here's my argument. Flying unknown or experimental aircraft sounds incredibly risky. Isn't this career just reckless?
I expected that. But risk is managed, not ignored. We follow strict protocols, simulations, and incremental testing.
Still, you're in a plane that could literally fail mid-flight.
Yes, but our training, experience, and meticulous planning minimize risks. We're not just thrill seekers, we're highly trained professionals.
That's right. Even the sound of the aircraft itself tells you what's happening. Test pilots learn to read the plane through vibration, pressure, and handling.
This career must require serious qualifications.
Absolutely. Most test pilots have thousands of flight hours, often coming from military aviation or commercial aviation. Then they attend specialized schools like the U.S. Air Force Test Pilot School or the UK Empire Test Pilot School.
So you need both skill and experience.
Yes, plus engineering knowledge. You must understand aerodynamics, avionics, propulsion, and flight control systems, often more deeply than a typical airline pilot.
So this is not a beginner-friendly career.
Not at all. It's one of the most elite pilot professions.
Describe a typical day for a test pilot.
Early morning starts with mission briefings. We review test objectives, weather conditions, aircraft status, and safety protocols. Then comes the pre-flight inspection. Every system, sensor, and panel is checked.
Then the flight itself. We perform maneuvers, test limits, measure performance, and take detailed notes. After landing, there's a debrief with engineers to review findings.
So one flight can generate hours of analysis.
Exactly. Each flight can provide critical data for future designs.
I still question, is it really about thrill-seeking or is the responsibility too high?
I expected that. But risk is managed, not ignored. We follow strict protocols, simulations, and incremental testing.
Still, you're in a plane that could literally fail mid-flight.
Yes, but our training, experience, and meticulous planning minimize risks. We're not just thrill seekers, we're highly trained professionals.
Must be intense.
It is, but that's what makes it exhilarating and meaningful.
Flying aircraft on the edge must affect mental health.
It can. You must be calm under pressure, make split-second decisions, and deal with uncertainty. Mental preparation is as important as physical preparation.
Do test pilots experience fear often?
Yes, but we learn to control it. Fear is a tool. It keeps you vigilant.
Interesting. Fear as a safety mechanism.
Exactly.
Here's a contentious point. Developing and testing new aircraft is expensive. Should governments and companies really invest so heavily in these programs?
Absolutely. Innovation requires testing. Without test pilots, aircraft wouldn't evolve safely. The cost of failure without proper testing could be catastrophic.
So you argue it's better to spend on careful evaluation than risk larger accidents later.
Exactly. Test pilots save money, time, and lives indirectly.
Are test pilots solo heroes or do they work with a team?
Teamwork is critical. Engineers, technicians, analysts, and controllers all coordinate. A test flight is the culmination of a team effort.
So it's a collaborative risk, not just personal risk.
Yes, even the most skilled pilot relies on the support team.
I still think the risk might outweigh the reward. High danger, high stress, and experimental aircraft. Is it worth it?
That's the age-old debate. But consider the alternative. Without test pilots, aircraft designs might fail in operational settings, potentially endangering countless lives.
True, but the danger to the pilot is immediate.
Yes, but that's mitigated with training, planning, and incremental testing. The reward is contributing to aviation advancement.
I see your point. How does one become a test pilot?
Most start as military pilots or experienced commercial pilots. Then they apply to test pilot schools, where they receive specialized training in flight test techniques, systems evaluation, and data analysis.
So it's a long, deliberate process.
Yes, not a career you stumble into.
Compared to airline pilots, firefighter pilots, or personal pilots, test pilots face unique challenges.
Yes, airlines have schedules and known procedures. Firefighter pilots face operational danger. Test pilots face unknowns. Every flight can reveal something unexpected.
So uncertainty is the defining characteristic.
Exactly.
Why do people choose this career?
For many, it's passion for innovation, problem solving, and flying at the limits. For some, it's about leaving a mark on aviation history.
So adrenaline, curiosity, and legacy all play a role.
Yes,
Test pilots influence the safety of future generations of pilots and passengers.
absolutely. That ethical responsibility weighs heavily. Mistakes can have far-reaching consequences.
So the career combines thrill and accountability.
Exactly.
Let me summarize my thoughts. Test pilots face immense risk, require exceptional skill, and have demanding mental and physical requirements.
And I'll summarize the benefits. They advance aviation technology, ensure safety, and push the boundaries of flight. Their contribution is irreplaceable.
I have new respect for test pilots, more than any other aviation career we've discussed.
Thank you, Mr. Sam. That means a lot.
Victoria, thank you for this in-depth, exciting, and honest conversation about test pilots.
Thank you, Mr. Sam. I truly enjoyed this discussion.
To our listeners, if you're considering becoming a test pilot, understand the rigorous training, the responsibility, and the risks, but also understand the unmatched satisfaction of contributing to aviation safety and innovation. Thank you for listening to the SAM Podcast. Join us next time as we continue exploring extraordinary aviation careers.
Goodbye, everyone.